Behind me is the summit of the tallest mountain in Turkey, Mount Ararat. It stands at over 5,000 meters tall, and tomorrow we'll complete our 4-day hike and hopefully get to the top and summit it. But before we do that, you're about to watch the journey of how this all happened. As an Australian, the only thing I knew about Turkey a year ago was that it was home to the ancient city of Istanbul and that a lot of Australians died here back in World War I. So when the opportunity to climb Mount Ararat arrived, I jumped at it. It was all in order to test myself and maybe broaden my view of the country I knew so little about. So we booked our tour with Ararat Adventures and embarked on a 4-day hike that would prove to not only be physically demanding, but have experiences that I will never forget.
You took everything here, yes? You didn't forget anything at the hotel. Okay, okay, good work.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Three litres of water. I think that should be enough. What do you think? What are we at, 2.5 now?
Yeah, I'd say we're at 2.5.
2.5. I can already start to feel it.
Yeah,
Especially because we had to wait for you and then catch up.
yeah.
And then like
And
just
I
that.
think that's a rookie's mistake trying to catch up.
Us and never catch up.
Just walk your own pace.
Walk your own pace.
Yeah,
You heard it first from climber extraordinaire.
I mean, we'll get there at the same time.
Never catch up.
I like to see the belly stuff. I think we're above the mosquito line.
Oh, you feel it in the lungs. You start to feel it already. I think we're at 2,700 meters, and the first camp is not too far away.
Welcome to base camp, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For 3 days.
This is it. So it's end of first day, and the night is coming. We've got the lights coming up from the city. It's beautiful. Like it's gotten cold now, but yeah, I mean, you've just got to rug up, get as much clothes as you can, and this is going to be our home for the first night, and then tomorrow night, and then we go further up the next night. So yeah, it's just been, the day's been magical so far, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to climb to the second base camp, and then we're going to come back down. So it's basically just acclimatization, getting ourselves ready for going to the top. This is probably the best view I've ever woken up to. Got everything behind me there. Got the summit behind me there. It's beautiful. So day two is just a little different. I got pretty burnt on my neck yesterday, so I've got this buff that's going to go around. The poles come out as well. I've never used a pole before, and now I've got to use them now. And everything's long sleeve, and I've got some extra clothes in the back just in case it get really cold. Yeah. Hey. Psychologically, today's quite hard. We are only maybe 200 meters. I have no idea at this point from the top. But then we got to come all the way back down. Tomorrow we'll just go all the way up and then we'll stay there. But yeah, today it's double the work. You really feel it when you're near the end. You really feel it. About to go back down. We're just having a cup of tea before we go down. We're just up here to acclimatise. And do you feel the altitude? Yes. Right now, kind of feels like sunstroke, but like that next level. Like with your heartbeat, you feel the pulsating in your head. You know, it's not the best feeling, but it is what it is. And I guess that's why we have this day here to get used to this. Was that harder than you expected? Yeah. Yeah, much harder. Nowhere near as fun as day one. The views are spectacular up there, but oh, the headache. Acclimatization day. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be acclimatized. Or at least feel a little bit better than I did today. Ah, good night's sleep, that would be good. So we're at the start of day 3 now, and today is probably what we call a relatively easy day compared to yesterday. So yesterday we climbed up to base camp 2, and then we hiked all the way back down. And it gave me such a huge headache. The only thing I could describe it as, it felt like a migraine, and I didn't know whether it was sunstroke, headache, or dehydration. It was probably a mixture of all of them. And after a bit of food, Hydrolyte, and some Advil, I was able to feel normal again, human again. And then now I just feel like I've got so much excess air, so I think the acclimatization worked. But today we are going to climb back to base camp 2. We're going to go back to where we were. This morning I feel like I've got a lot more air.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
I just feel, and then I think the acclimatization has worked in that same vein then. And I feel like I've got more energy, so my body's not as sore, so I think it's good. Getting out of the way for the horses. For me, as soon as it hits 4,000, the headache comes back. It's altitude sickness, I guess. And talking becomes more difficult. The only way through it is more water. And you get a bit slower, and you take it step by step by step. It's because there's less and less oxygen as you go up. On ground level, you've got about 24%. As you go up, to 3,000, which is where the base camp was, around 14%. When you get to 5,000, you're under 10%. Right now, we're starting to hit that. We're starting to hit that at 4. This is apparently where things start getting bad. It's the first threshold. The next threshold, apparently, is when you get 6,000. But let's see. I don't know how it's going to be like when we get to the top, or close to the top. That there is Little Ararat. It's about the same height as where we are now. As you get close to the second base camp, it pretty much takes your breath away. Either that or it's the altitude sickness. The sun's just gone down on the third night and the temperature's just dropped. So I'm gonna quickly get everything done. I haven't packed for the morning yet, but yeah, I'll frantically do that now. Then we wake up at 12 and up we go. I'm a little nervous. It's got that kind of like nervous excitement going on, which is good. Yeah, it's 7:45. I'm gonna try and sleep at 8. It gives me 4 hours before we wake up and up we go. We got about 10 minutes until we gotta wake up. I didn't sleep at all. No one bit. I think I'm just nervous. Been tossing and turning, yeah. Anyway, they're waking everyone up now. Part of me doesn't want to do this. I'm a bit scared, I think. But I gotta. I want to. A little more. This is where it genuinely gets a little scary. Where you first realize that one false step could be the end. The path is covered in ice and snow. Wind threatens to push you over. I am determined to film everything, but realize if I do, I may not make it out there to show the footage. So I'll film only when I'm not moving. And even then, the delirium starts. We laugh and cry and wonder why on earth did we ever decide to do this at all. But then, the sun starts to come up. And there are no rocks anymore. Now we are on the glacier. Who would have thought that spikes attached to your feet could feel so amazing? But it allows us to walk up with ease. The issue now is to breathe. No more water. Our bottles have all frozen over. But what is driving me is the view. It's like another world. I've got to keep pushing, despite it being difficult to breathe. I can see the summit. But I'm nearly there. I just need to push a bit more. The wind is crazy. The snow forms into weird patterns just before the end. There it is. With one big push, I make it to the plateau.
You made it! Ararat!
We did it. We bloody did it. And now the wind hits you from every side because we are on top of the world. It did take a moment to calm down. And then, out of nowhere, I became everyone's photographer. But I really didn't mind. I love capturing these memories. After summiting, we had to climb all the way back down the mountain. But before we did, I had to stop to shed a tear or two at the craziness of it all. Okay, there were things I didn't like. The plastic use and rubbish is a little bit much, and I'd love to see more sustainable options. But overall, I loved the tour. I loved our Turkish and Kurdish guides.
Hig. Yeah.
I loved the people I hiked with. And of course, the mountain itself. Right now, it'd be nice to leave you with a quote from someone who climbs mountains. But honestly, challenging yourself like this is immensely personal. Sometimes you don't learn anything. I'm not sure I even did. Because I'm still asking myself, what's next? And after 4 days, it's all done.
Hello.
Hello. Let's get in.